Hi friends, it's Emma from Monique Plans, and it is time for my Hawaii Plan With Me, or my trip to America Plan With Me part 2. If you didn't see week number 1, that was Disney. Go and check that out. It is, I think, the second last video that I uploaded, but you will know it when you see it for obvious reasons. So, I am using this super old kit that a friend actually sent me because I really wasn't sure what I was going to use for this week. I was really struggling. No art really stood out to me, and we hadn't really got to like full summer art yet, so I just did not know what to do. So shout out Trish. Thank you. You've really saved me here. I paired it with a few extras because the format was quite old, so it didn't have some of the things I needed, and also I didn't like the pattern that was used on the bottom washi or the date covers, so I totally did my own thing with those. I ended up pulling in a Simply Gilded in the bottom washi as well, which you'll see. Then I'm using this gold leaf foil bundle from last year from Caress Press. I had it left over. I didn't know really I knew I was going to use gold, but I didn't know what foil pattern I was going to use. And then I found this bundle in my stash and decided it was perfect to pull in. I also pulled in some old school quotes from Monique Plans that I had left over, and this freebie from Caress Press that I had. I used one of the overlays, like it's travel related. And then I ordered the pineapple underlays in gold from PlannaHannah originally. And then I changed my mind and ordered the palm tree ones instead. But then I got the pineapple ones in, and I'm like, hey, these are actually going to look really cool. So I decided to just combine them and use both. I normally wouldn't do that. However, I thought because the palm trees were quite dainty and small and the pineapples were quite chunky, like it kind of balanced out like I normally would use an underlay and then like a bougie box. So if it was too like full on underlays, I wouldn't have done it. It would have been way too much, but I think it looks really cool. I am so happy with the base, and I mean, I'm also happy with the spread, but we will get there. So as you can see, I pulled in the orange, like inverted, I think it's called, bow from Simply Gilded. These inverted bows, and specifically the orange one, are probably my most used washi from her. I've really moved away from the like foiled bows because I struggle to find a color that matches, like a color of tape that matches the kit I'm using enough, and then to have to like hope that the foil color matches. No, it doesn't really happen for me anymore, so I just tend to stick to the solid color ones. And then I used the palm leaf overlay on the bottom washi. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to go for, if I wanted to do like the palm tree or the palm leaf, but I decided on the palm leaf. So that's kind of the basics of the spread. I think I'm going to get started on the day by day, and then I will catch up. One thing, actually, I do apologize that a lot of this footage is like the pages are sideways. I didn't realize my camera was so off-center, like so crooked in the tripod, and it just meant that I kept having to like remind myself to straighten up the page, but like then obviously I would forget and it would turn sideways again. So I'll try and remember to have that fixed for next time. But let's get into it. If you missed, my first day of arriving from LA into Hawaii was Sunday of last week's video, so I would advise you to check that one out first. Not too much happened. It was pretty much a travel day, but it kind of makes the trip flow a little bit more. Moving on to Monday, so I really like struggled for things to mark on this day because I really just was like, we really didn't do much. Like, what am I going to say? What am I going to put down? So I decided to turn a half box sideways to take up more space. And I don't do this very often. It's pretty much for this reason, like when I need to fill up space. But when I do, I really enjoy it. My only thing is I wish I had like a bit of a bigger like sticker to put next to it. The sticker that I ended up using was quite small because I just didn't really have anything bigger, but I still think it looks really good. Then I had a pool time script in gold. I picked these up in a recent grab bag, and I knew I would use them, and they came in perfect handy. So I cut that in half because I wanted to use, like, I wanted it to stack on top of each other rather than be like one long script, if that makes any sense. And then I used a like character sticker sitting on a flamingo pool floaty to mark that we literally just were in the pool like all day this day. It had been a long week at Disney, like long week, walking and busy and all that sort of thing. So it was nice to just lie down by the pool, read a book, and just relax. So that's another thing that you'll see in a second. I did a lot of reading in this first half of the week. So I've been reading A Court of Thorn and Roses, and I know that I am very late to the party, but I am fully on board the bus. If anyone else has read the series and loves it and wants to talk to me about it, please do. Please, please, please. Like, one of my good friends in real life loves it and has been waiting for me to jump on the bandwagon, and I'm fully on. So yeah, we'll get into that. It's forms a lot of the next few days. So anyway, the next thing that I marked was I got a pretty bad sunburn this day. It was kind of frustrating because I was really paying attention, and like I kept applying sunscreen and checking, like how if I was getting red, I would have put a shirt on or whatever, but it just appeared out of nowhere. I think like after I came in that night, I just all of a sudden was bright red. And so this was Monday the 9th. It's now almost, is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks? At least 2 weeks, if not 3 weeks later, and I'm finally starting to peel from that. So a bit annoying, but, it is what it is. And then, as I said, I was reading. So I was reading A Court of War and something, I think. No. I don't actually know. Like, to me, I just read it as Aka War. I don't know what the book's called, but I was reading it, and it was really good, obviously. So I'd read A Court of Thorn and Roses at home, and I'd read the second one at home. I can't think what that one's called either. And so I was up to, I think that one's like A Court of Mist and something. Anyway, I was up to this one, and I read it a lot of Monday, and then I ended up finishing it on Tuesday, which we'll get to. We then went to the local shops and picked up some stuff to make like a family Mexican dinner, which was really nice. It's like the one thing that we kind of all agree on and all enjoy, so it's nice when we can all get together and do that. Then on Tuesday, we caught the local bus into the main, I say main, like, it is a main town, but, like, it's not at the same time. Like, it's really not the main town, but it is. So we caught the bus. It takes, like, an hour. It really is, like, the local, but actually, I just realized I didn't even think I said, so this is a part of my trip where I was in Kauai. I've never been to Kauai before. I've been to Hawaii, like the main, like Oahu, like 10 times, but the first time off that island. So this was a whole new experience for me. It was a lot more quiet and like laid back than obviously Oahu is, which I knew, but I still was surprised at like the level of laid backness, which is not a word, but I'm going to make it a word. So that kind of makes more sense. Like, we caught the bus, like the local bus, into town because we didn't have a car, and we were staying like on the other side of the island. So it took like an hour and 10 minutes, and it literally like stops at like the local gym, the one gym on the island, and like the local post office. And I don't know, it was just an experience. I've never really been to somewhere that's like that. I don't want to say rural, but like I really haven't. I'm a city girl, and that's all I know. So we caught the bus into town, which had a Starbucks, which thank the gods. Except I decided to try a chai because I have chai here, like in Australia, because we cannot, Starbucks here just cannot make white mochas right. Like, they just can't do it, and I've given up. So I have chai here. And I was like, you know what? I don't really feel like a white mocha. Like, I'm going to get a chai. It was the most disgusting thing I have tried. Like, it was awful. I even had Troy try it, and he was like, okay, what the hell, that's disgusting. It was literally like drinking, like, cinnamon. Like, the cinnamon was burning my throat. And I don't know what the disconnect is here, because the chai that I have at home tastes nothing like that. And it's still from Starbucks. It's still like, I have it with oat milk and, the same drink, but it was totally different. I don't know if, like, the chai mix is different, or y'all have it stronger, or I don't know, but it was awful. I literally ended up having a few sips, and I tried and tried to drink it, but I just couldn't, because it was just burning my mouth. So I threw it out, which is something I don't ever do, so it was like a whole thing. And then I was pissy because I really wanted my Starbucks for the day, but that was it, and I didn't get it, so anyway, we move on. Then I went to the Target, which is, like, brand new on the island. It's, like, the most modern Target I've ever been. It was more like an Australian Target. Our Targets are quite modern here. And it was, like, it's probably even more modern than that, I would say. It was, like, brand new. All the shelving was, like, fully new and high-tech and electronic, and I don't know. It was really cool. I love Target over there. I see why you guys love it. So I did that. Then we caught the bus back to another town to have lunch, but I just didn't, one, have enough room, and I just didn't really feel like marking that because I just didn't really know what to, like, put in. I then got another Starbucks, which I got a pink drink, so I made up for it, and felt a lot better about myself. And then we came back and hung out by the pool, so I used another little character laying on the towel with a gold pool time script. Those really got a good workout this week. And then, so I finished Aqua War, which again, I can't think of what it's actually called, but I don't want to say any spoilers because I'm pretty sure that they came out a few years ago, but, like, if you know, like, there was a pretty big ending to this one, so, and then, like, it was leading into, like, the big, just big things happening, and I don't know. It was a good one. And then I also read A Court of Something and Starlight. I remember this is Something and Starlight, which is, like, it's a novella. It's kind of like a little Christmas book, but, like, it's not Christmas, it's, like, their version of Christmas. And I've read that people don't like this book. They think it's just, like, shouldn't have been there. It just doesn't make sense. But I actually think I really liked it. I think it was a nice, like, break from all the chaos and trauma of Aqua War. So I really liked it and just thought it was, like, just a little low-key, easy read. Perfect for, like, a pool day. Like, perfect. And then we, the hotel that we were staying at had, like, board games in the lobby, so we went and grabbed some board games and played Uno. Moving on to Wednesday, I slept in because it was just that kind of time in the holiday where you just needed to rest and recharge. And then I literally read the whole of A Court of Silver Flames, which is, like, 700 pages long. It's the most I have ever read in one day, but I was so hooked on Nesta and Cassian. Like, I could not put the book down. I was so into it. Like, when I finished A Court of Something and Starlight, I was really upset because I was like, no, I don't want to be out of Feyre and Rhys. Like, I don't want to be out of Feyre's perspective. And then we get to Nesta, and her and Cassian, I needed it, and I could not stop reading it, and holy shit, it's good. So, no spoilers as to what happens, but just the two of their dynamic, like, I just really enjoyed them as the main characters of the book. So, finished that in one go, and then now I'm currently going back and reading A Court of Thorns and Roses again, and I want to start again and, like, just pick up on the things that, you don't pick up on a first read, and just, like, really understand everything a bit more. So yeah, then I caught up on some YouTube videos that I had not been watching, so that was always good. And then I used the pool time script for the third time in 3 days, and a little character sticker with, like, a big sun hat on. And then I had to pack my suitcase because we were leaving for Honolulu the next morning, and we pretty much just like hung around. I was literally glued to my book for like the whole day and night, so I really only like put it down to like eat, to swim, to eat, and to pack. That was it. And then I slept. I finished it and slept. So then on Thursday, we got the transfer to the airport. I got Starbucks again, which is probably the most disorganized Starbucks I've ever been in my life. You'd think like an airport one, like they know they're going to be busy, but no. And also, even, let's like, no, am I in the right spot? No, I'm telling a story that doesn't exist yet. Yeah, so it was just the most disorganized, like, we waited like 10 minutes for our drinks, and like, as I said, you'd think at an airport one, they'd have like a pretty good system because they know they're going to be busy. No, not at all. Didn't happen. We were also sitting at our gate, and we, like, the gate next to us, the plane, like, actually left at the same time as us, but theirs was going to, like, LA, so mainland, whereas ours was just going into Ireland, so their boarding closed half an hour before departure, whereas ours closed, like, 10 minutes, and this, like, these three, I think it was, like, a couple and, like, a third, like, lady, like, middle-aged, kind of Karen-esque sort of personalities actually ended up missing their plane because they got there and the gate was closed, and it's just one of those things where you just laugh at other people's misfortune, but because, like, they were so angry and, like, not that it was funny that they were yelling at the staff, but it was just funny because the staff just were not taking it. They just obviously were not going to reopen the door and let them on. Like, no, that's not going to happen. And it just provided some entertainment that sometimes you need at an airport, because airports are not the most fun places. So then we got on the plane and we went to Honolulu, and so I am not the greatest flyer. I just don't love, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I've seen every episode of Air Crash Investigation ever, and I'm not afraid of the plane falling out of the sky because I know the logistics of how it works and I know how unlikely it is, but I just still, whenever I hear, like, noises on planes, like, my stomach drops involuntarily, and I just don't, like, it's not rational at all, because, as I said, rationally I know I'm okay, but this was the smallest plane I've ever been on, and it was not a good time for me, let's put it that way. I did not enjoy it, but thankfully it took like 30 minutes. I swear to God, we were like taken off and they were like, okay, we're coming into land. Like, it was literally so fast. Mercifully, I needed that. But one of those things that now I'm like, okay, I went on a plane, and it wasn't that small to, like, most people, but to me, all the planes in Australia are a minimum of, like, 3 seats an aisle and then 3 seats. We don't really have any smaller planes. And this one was 2 seats, aisle, 3 seats, with the engines, like, next to the wing. No, not next to the wing. Like, on the back, like, on the tail. And it was just not my cup of tea. So, anyway, I've conquered it. We move on. Then we checked into the hotel, which was, like, right on the beach, which was so nice. And then my brother had, like, he'd cooked his phone, and he'd been dying to get to Apple to fix it, so we all, like, went to Ala Moana, the shopping centre there, went to Olive Garden, which I know it has a bit of a rep among the Americans for, like, being, you know, it's, like, just one of those, like, cheap, trashy sometimes places, but I fucking love the Alfredo. It is so good. The last time I had it was the one in Times Square, and that was, like, 6 years ago, so I just needed it. And also, it wasn't expected, because last time we were in Hawaii, they didn't have an Olive Garden. So when we got there and saw the sign, I think I almost cried, because I just love the Alfredo so much. So that was really nice. And then I had been planning to purchase a Louis bag for a while now, and I decided I wanted to do it on my trip to kind of make it special. So I had my first ever, like, in-store high-end designer experience, which was so much fun and so addicting. I can see why people are really into it now. But so I picked up my first Louis bag, and she's beautiful. I love her. I'm so thankful. I'd been saving up for a while, and I knew the one that I wanted. It's actually out of stock in Australia anyway, so I'm really glad that I did pick it up over there. But I don't know, I've never been, even like with someone else, I've never been in a high-end store before, so the whole experience to me, having your like personal like associate and like the whole thing was just so unique and different to me, so it was really fun, like really cool experience. And obviously I got a beautiful bag out of it, so I'm very thankful for that. And then on Friday, I had pretty much had Starbucks every morning this week, so from here on out. So I probably don't need to talk about it every time, but I did have Starbucks. And then we went to Aulani, which for all the times that we have been to Hawaii and the level of Disney freaks that we are, we have never been to Aulani. It is so expensive to stay. It's like 1,400 Australian dollars a night, which is actually insane. You can stay in like the nicest 5-star hotels in the world for less than that. So it's just never really been an option for us, but I don't know why we've never gone and visited. So anyway, we had a breakfast reservation, so we drove over and went to breakfast, and I understand why people pay to stay there now. Like, it truly feels like you are at Disney. It's the Disney bubble. You feel like you're at Disney. Like, I don't know how, even just like you're walking around like the corridors and like all the guests, it just feels like you're at Disney. There's obviously the characters, there's obviously the shops, and like the resort itself is incredible, but it just feels like Disney, which I really didn't expect. Like, I didn't know that was going to happen. I thought it was just going to be a really nice resort that Disney had slapped its name on, you know, and was milking people for all they're worth. But no, it's not at all. I mean, they're still milking people, it's Disney, but it feels like Disney, which I wasn't expecting. So we had a character breakfast there, which was really, really good. It was the first Disney character breakfast I've ever been to that is a la carte. Everyone else I've done in the parks has been buffet, so it was nice to kind of do something different. And to mark that, I know I haven't really been talking about how I've been marking things, but this one I marked it with like my Once More with Love sheet, my little leftovers that I had from last week, and it just says magic starts here, so I didn't write Aulani, but I know like that's what we did that day, and magic truly starts there. Like, that's Disney as much as any other Disney park that I've been to is. So that was really nice, and because we were like, you pretty much have to drive past the outlets to get to Aulani, we decided to go to the outlets on the way home. I didn't really buy too much. I have been going to these outlets like every time we come for like 20 years, and I feel like nothing has changed. I don't think the value is that great anymore, so, but it was nice to just like be there, and you know, as I said, it's kind of a tradition that we always go. And also, by this point, we'd been away for like almost 2 weeks, and I had already spent a shit ton of money. I just spent like a couple of $1,000 at Louis the night before, so my bank account was kind of saying, please, no more. Then we came back for cocktails by the pool, which obviously I cannot say no to. They had mango and passion fruit daiquiris on the menu, which I fucking love daiquiris. So my favorite drink ever is a passion fruit mojito. That's like number one, top shelf. If it's on the menu, that's what I'm getting. And then a daiquiri is a close second. I've never had a mango daiquiri before, but normally strawberry or passion fruit is great. But a fucking mango daiquiri was so good. And it was by the pool. It was pool service. What more could you want in life, seriously? And also I got to use this really cute drink sticker, which I never can seem to use because it's too bright. But I got to use it, so I was really happy with that. And then I had been craving cheese fries. Like, literally just fries with the runny, like liquid cheese spritzed all over them, because we don't do liquid cheese here. I can't get them here, and I just needed them. So we ended up going back to the shops. My brother wanted to go and look at a few other things, so we went back to the shops, and I got them from Philly cheesesteak, which was great, except for I had a like blocked sinuses and I couldn't taste the cheese. So I could look at it and I could feel the texture, which was amazing, but I could not taste the cheese. So I was not very happy about that, but I've had them from Philly cheesesteak before, so I was like pretending that, you know, I could taste them. So then Saturday, we slept in again, went to Starbucks. Of course, when I say Starbucks, I really mean, to be honest. So my brother likes to go for a walk in the morning, and he would go walk to Starbucks, get the Starbucks, and bring it back to me. So I didn't go anywhere. That's probably a lie I need to confess to. Then we went to the beach. It was so nice. I know it's so touristy, and I know you're like, oh, you should go to the local spot. Like, I know, but the beach, Waikiki Beach, is just something else. Like, it is so good. And just being able to go into the water, and the water is warm. I live in a place where the water is not warm even at the end of summer. The water is cold. I am lucky to live on the beach. I'm very thankful for that. However, the water is cold. Going into the water on Waikiki Beach and the water is warm is just the best. I love it so much. And then obviously you swim out, you turn around, and you have like the most beautiful vista looking back at you. Like, it's just such a good beach. So love that. Then I had Raising Cane's for the first time. So a YouTuber that I used to watch way back when always used to get Raising Cane's delivered like on stream. So, well, I'd watch like the stream replay, but when he would stream, he would get it delivered, and I was always like, I need to try that, but every place I've gone to the States in the past, they don't have it. And then this time, now there's 2 in Hawaii, and I don't know if I missed it last time or if it's new, but I certainly haven't noticed it before. So I fully get the sauce thing, like I fully get it, and the Texas toast. That is amazing. I'm not a huge like meat eater, so my order was pretty much fries, Texas toast, and sauce, and I was very happy with my order, so I would definitely go there again. Then we came back to the pool, and I had more daiquiris. Surprise, surprise, they were just so good. And then we went to the family favourite for dinner, which is Denny's. I have a real bone to pick with Denny's. They, for some reason, decided to get rid of my favourite thing on the menu, was Brooklyn spaghetti and meatballs, but I would get no meatballs. I would just get Brooklyn spaghetti, essentially. And I came on this trip fully expecting to have my Brooklyn spaghetti, and didn't get it. So it was off the menu when I went in Anaheim, and I thought maybe like that's just I don't know, they have different menus in different states. No, it's gone, and I'm really unhappy about it. So I had to have something else, which, to be fair, was probably better than my spaghetti and meatballs, less the meatballs, but it's on principle. I'd been like winding up to it for a while, and the fact that they didn't have it, I was quite upset. Anyway, moving on to Sunday and the actual highlight of my trip to Hawaii. Here we go. So, Starbucks, again, I've already fessed up. I didn't get it, but I had Starbucks. Then we went to the Kualoa Ranch, which is the Jurassic Park ranch. And again, all the times I'd been to Hawaii, I'd never been to the ranch. Probably because I wasn't as into Jurassic Park then as I am now, but holy shit, oh my god, the highlight of my trip by far. So we had a morning tour. I specifically booked the Jurassic tour, so you can do, like, they do horse riding, they do zip lining, they do a movie, like a Hollywood tour, they do a whole lot of different things, and I specifically picked the open Jeep Jurassic tour because that's what I wanted to do. Troy came with me, and he has seen all the Jurassic Park movies and likes them, but not to the point of obsession like me. So he was a good companion and photographer, but wasn't as like fully into it as I am. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. So, I guess I'll just like do a quick rundown of the tour because it was so good. So, first things first, we went up to this like lookout. It was actually a bunker that was created in World War II, I believe. And you go like you walk into the mountain, and they've set up like they've kept props from different movies that they've filmed at the place over the years, and have like all little rooms set up of like each movie. So it's kind of like a little museum. Jurassic World was one of them. So they had little props of like the gyrosphere. When they get in the gyrosphere ride, they had like the sign from that on the wall. They had like the maps that are kind of like placed around the park, which was really cool, and like a few other little things. And then you get in the car and you keep driving, and you the first place you go is where in Jurassic World, where the Indominus Rex is like kind of pretty much just escaped, and there's the car or like the jeep of people driving through like the Gallimimus not enclosure, like paddock, and it's like speeding away. Also that jeep was also on display where I just said before, but where the Gallimimus like chase it kind of thing, or they're just like running through the paddock. So we saw where that was filmed, and they had like the tire tracks of like where the jeep sort of ran through. That was really cool. And then we went up, like you drive along through all like other movies as well. So she's like, oh, that movie was filmed here. Then I'm like, blah blah blah. But I don't really care about that. So then we went up to there's another lookout. So they built it on the side of like this little mountain, the gyrosphere station. So when there's like that really long queue of people, and Zach and Gray are like standing in the queue, and he's like looking at the females. And Gray's like, you're not going to get anywhere by looking at them. And they get on the gyrosphere, and then the gyrosphere like pulls out of the station, and then that's when the ride operator gets the call from central control saying the ride's closed, blah blah blah. So that they built that whole gyrosphere station that for the movie on the side of the mountain, and obviously all the stuff that's showing what it was is gone, but the structure is still there, and you like kind of walk out, and they've made it into like a little lookout. They also do weddings up there, which would be incredible, and the views are so beautiful, like just so nice. And then you kind of drive back down the hill, and they have I've only seen Fallen Kingdom once because it's not on Netflix here. You have to like illegally stream it. It's the like bad dinosaur from that movie. The like not cage enclosure that it was kept in, like the concrete one, that is on display. It's kind of like parked out in the middle of a field, and you drive past that on the way down to the scene in Fallen Kingdom where just before the volcano erupts, where Claire like pops out of the manhole, like that's how she escapes, and then Owen's like up the top of the hill and yells like run, and then like they run down the hill when the volcano erupts. Like that whole hill that Owen runs down and the bunker that Claire comes out of is all still there. Like that was left behind, which was really cool. And you get out and you can like walk up and down the hill and like, obviously pretend that you're Owen or Claire. And yeah, so they've got like all the trees where the dinosaurs then run down that hill, and they like break through all the trees, the fallen trees, like that, they're all still there as well. So it's like the whole scene of that is there. And then the only part of that is Jurassic Park themed is the similar sort of thing when Dr. Grant and the kids are running away from the Gallimimus, where the T-Rex is chasing them, and they like hop over the log and then like hide under it. So that log is still there, and the hill is too. So you see the hill where he like runs down, and then they jump over the log, and you get a photo in front of the log, which was so cool. I love pretending that I'm Dr. Grant because he's my favourite from Jurassic Park. And then Claire's my favourite from Jurassic World, so that was so good. And then you sort of drive to the other side of the ranch where the Indominus Rex enclosure is. So you go like up to where what's his name? Mr. Mizrani and Claire go up to like that lookout over the Indominus Rex enclosure, and the one where like Claire and Owen are in there when they can't find him on the temperature thing. And then you can also go inside the enclosure and you see where the Indominus Rex has scratched the wall to trick them into thinking he's escaped, or she. So that was really cool. And then like you kind of go back to, I feel like I'm talking really fast. You go back to the main place, like the main entrance, and it was probably about 2.5 hours long, and I loved every single second of it. It was honestly the highlight of my trip, and I'm so, so happy I got to do it. I'm running out of time on the recording, so if you want to ask me any questions about it, please do. I'd love to share. I hope I've given you kind of an overview. I know I'm talking really fast. I'm trying to fit it all in, but it was, such a good time. Like, if you love Jurassic Park or Jurassic World and you're in Hawaii, I think you have to go. Even just like the scenery, you really feel like you're in the movie and a dinosaur is going to come out of the trees at any moment. Like, it is incredible. Anyway, this is finished now. This is my Hawaii trip. I hope y'all enjoyed my little trip 2-part series. And then I'll be back to probably not doing Plan With Me because I don't love filming them, but hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.